the scary part to me is when you talk about the subconscious. I mean, what are those beliefs again?
The negative ones?
Yeah.
The disempowering ones?
Yeah.
This is too much.
Okay.
I'll never get ahead.
Okay.
Nothing works out for me, and no one cares.
So here's the point with that is these are subconscious beliefs, meaning most of us are not aware that this isn't even a conscious awareness.
Right.
That's the scary part. On today's episode, we talk about the laws of the universe that we've been covering on our weekly Raise Your Vibration calls. So today we talk about the law of perpetual transmutation and how that relates to everyday life and how we can align ourselves with that law and how we can use it for our betterment. I hope you enjoy. Welcome back to the Healing Works podcast. We're excited to be with you again today. Today we wanted to cover what we've been going over on our Raise Your Vibration weekly coaching calls. So it is live coaching we do. If you listen to the previous episodes, one of the main benefits with Raise Your Vibration is we remove the emotional energy that keeps us from moving forward and keeps us from developing into the better versions and best versions of ourselves. And we teach you how to get into a heart coherent state and really start improving your neural baseline, which is the emotions you often feel, the thoughts you often think, to the attitudes and behaviors, so that you start perpetually becoming better in situations, so situations don't, take you out of your power. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. So we've been going over lately some of the laws of the universe, because there are certain laws, right? I think most people know of the law of attraction or the law of vibration. And that law of attraction is a universal law. And if you don't feel like you're getting ahead in life, or feel like, things don't work out for me, or why is it so difficult? Why do other people have it so easy on, attracting wealth or attracting love or attracting peace or whatever that is that you're searching for? It's simply because you're not in alignment with that law. So we wanted to, this year, it's been a big emphasis to cover these laws. And there are several different laws that once we get ourselves in alignment with these laws, things will just flow that much easier into our lives. And it doesn't have to be such an enduring process. It can be more flow, more peace, more enjoyment along the journey, right?
Exactly. And that came to us pretty strong, as we were talking about what we wanted to really cover this year, or, start covering this year. And ultimately, what we want is to be here and have these experiences and have expansion and learn and grow, but then also maintain our peace and happiness and joy. And so really where that comes from is falling in alignment or within accordance of the laws of the universe. Otherwise, that's where there's so much resistance and so much imbalance. And the universe doesn't care about feelings and, people's perceptions. It's just seeking balance. That's it. So when you find yourself in disaccord with the laws of the universe, you suffer. And so it's like, as we were talking about, why are we doing this work? What's the ultimate goal here? And it is to find that place of peace and love and joy, no matter what the circumstances are. So, as we were kind of compiling information to present and how it applies to the work that we do, I loved this explanation of the laws of the universe, and it states that we have come here to this experience to develop 3 inner virtues: happiness, inner peace, and love, or service to others. This development brings with it excellent results in all 4 fields: relationships, resources, health, and adaptation to the environment. And when you think about it, everything that we're experiencing here in this life, in this immortality, or however you want to, in this 3D world of physical matter, that pretty much encompasses everything: your relationships, your resources, your ability to work and pay and buy and sell and, those kinds of things, your physical health and health in all areas. And then how well can you adapt to the environment, to the circumstances around you that, aren't maybe things that you chose. And when you're resilient in all four of those areas, then you are most likely living in accordance to the laws of the universe. So the idea is to use these virtues to interact with what is around us, to learn to be happy, to be peaceful, and to love is a true purpose that has brought human beings to the physical world of matter. Happiness, peace, and love are the principles of divine essence. They have no polarity and they are immutable. And so what we're trying to do as we run these weekly calls is discuss one of the laws, cover it. What does it mean? Sometimes they seem like I don't even know what that means. And make them relatable and give practical applications of how to notice when you are in accord or disaccord with those laws. And maybe some of the blocks that we all carry that take us out of balance of them, so that we can clear those out so we can get back into balance and we can live a life of flow.
Right. And so what are those things that take people out of, or sorry, not out, but take people out, but take people out of alignment with these laws?
Most of the time they're limiting beliefs, from past experiences. And we all have them. Really, the subconscious mind's job is to keep us alive, to keep us breathing, to digest our food without having to think about it. And that's survival. And that runs so much of the time, like we've talked about probably nearly every episode, about how crucial the subconscious mind is in our existence. And so helping it, shifting it so it works in our favor instead of always trying to keep us alive in dangerous situations because of past experiences, just allows us to expand and live that life of enjoyment and peace.
Right. And so those limiting beliefs are really what keep people and keep all of us from attaining the peace, the love, the relationships, everything that we desire, right? And so when we look at beliefs, beliefs are just a thought and an emotion, thought and felt over and over and over again until they become hardwired neural patterns in the brain. And so the boundary of those beliefs are always emotion, because that's what the language of the subconscious is, emotion. Mm-hmm. And so that's why it's so powerful when you remove these emotions from the subconscious. It makes that belief very objective. So is that actually true? Maybe not. But what I want to do is align myself with what is true, mm-hmm. right? And so when you look at the laws, one of the laws that we just covered mm-hmm. on the last call is which one? The law of
perpetual transmutation. Yep. And someone might hear that and go, I have no idea what that means. So how do I go about applying it? Okay, cool. Now what?
Right.
So the law of, I'm going to do some reading on this episode, but I think it's important to cover and be precise. So the law of perpetual transmutation states that energy asserts, the energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Still, it changes from one state to another. This means that the energy of the universe is always transmuting into and out of form. At no time will energy be standing still. So everything is either coming into physical form or going out of it. So an idea held in the right environment, like your mind, will begin to take form. It is only in the last stage that you will actually see it. Doubt and fear will reverse the process. Belief and faith bring it into form. Doubt and fear return it to the invisible. Situations and things are perpetually transmuting. They are constantly coming or going from or toward the physical plane, but we just don't see it happening, so it is naturally easy to doubt. You must believe this law, and you will be able to have the faith that you need to hold the idea in your mind until you see it to fruition. So in layman's terms, that was a good explanation. But if you know that things are constantly coming into and out of physical form and you can't see it yet, when you, just like it said, doubt and fear, reverse that process of bringing it to your physical vision to be able to actually see it to fruition.
Right. And so that's why when we look at energy, like it said, it can't be destroyed. It can only be transmuted. So we're either operating in a low vibration or low energetic state, or we're operating in a high energy, high vibration state, right? We're either operating in love or fear. We're either operating in gratitude or doubt, right? Appreciation or frustration. And so that's why the removal of these emotions from the subconscious is so pivotal to gain that traction, and then staying in that heart coherent state throughout the day, because we're going to get whatever we focus on. Mm-hmm. And I think, there's a lot of good exercises out there, like gratitude journaling in the morning for 10 minutes and the meditations. And obviously we teach that as well. But it really starts to set in when you look at the amount of time spent during the day. Like, where is your focus most of the day? And when we look at stress levels, right, we've talked about stress so often, but we got to keep repeating it because stress is on the rise, right? Mm-hmm. 90% of doctor visits right now are due to stress. 84% of Americans in a recent study claim stress on a weekly basis. We know that thought patterns are 80% negative. So that would suggest that we're inducing stress by thought alone, right? And so where is our focus going? If you're not happy, if you're not at peace, if you're not enjoying all the things that happen during the day, chances are we just need to shift a couple things, remove some imbalances, and become better, right? We want to either progress or not either progress. We want to become that 1% better on a daily basis. So when we talk about the law of transmutation, can we be in a situation where maybe it causes a little frustration? Can we be in a situation that things don't go according to maybe what we were thinking or what we were hoping? And can we transmute that energy in the moment and shift back to belief and to gratitude and to peace so that we can attract further the things that we want in our lives, because we're creating on a moment-to-moment basis.
Right.
So if we're always, stuck in that low vibrationary state because that's what we've conditioned our heart, mind, and nervous system to, and subconscious to, and that subconscious is a million times stronger, we got to start reconditioning heart, mind, and nervous system to a new level.
Right. And when you look at the laws of the universe and you've got the law of vibration, then you've got the law of attraction, and the law, obviously people know what that means. It's got to have a vibrational match. So if you're at a low vibration, you're attracting more low vibration. So when we raise your vibration, that's a lot of saying vibration in one little clip there. But, then you can start to see why that's imperative to live within accordance to that law. And then the law of attraction works in your favor. And then this states here, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy is one of the 12 universal laws. It is one of the least understood, yet one of the most important to understand.
Yeah.
So when it's like, okay, let's get the vibration high so that we are living the law of attraction for the things and attracting the things that we desire. But then the law of perpetual transmutation says if you master this law, you will find it very easy to transmute energy and manifest money and anything else you want into reality. You'll know the science of getting rich in every way, including much more than just being able to manifest money. Abundance is about manifesting much more than cash. It's manifesting wealth in every way: love, career, material, health, relationships, and joy. So being able to transmute energy and understanding that things are always changing and coming into and out of physical form, when something's presented to you, and you can transmute that energy into a higher vibration, and you can take that discouragement that's before you and know how to shift to your heart and transmute that to love or to excitement or to courage. You just raise your vibration, aligned yourself with the law of attraction to attract more of what you want. You become an alchemist, really. You're alchemizing energy from a low vibration to a high vibration. And the law of perpetual transmutation is like, it's like rain, just because the process of, might be in the process of like condensation or evaporation. That doesn't mean that rain isn't coming. You just can't see it yet. And so when you think about that and something hasn't come to your physical vision, you can't see the evidence of it yet, doesn't mean it's not on its way. And if things are always changing and you're able to transmute energy through whatever comes before you and upgrade it to a higher vibrational frequency, a higher emotion, then you become a super attractor and you start to really take control of your vibrational frequency and what you attract, what you're able to attract. So when you have that patience to know that something is coming into physical form, you just can't see it yet.
Right. And I think that's so, it's so common for a lot of us to get, a little frustrated that something hasn't shown up or doubt when things haven't shown up, because I think largely we live by, faith only when something's been seen, right? When something shows up, when, that raise shows up, or, we get a new car, love shows up. It's like, oh, see, now I can have love, or now I can have money. And like, oh yes, it works. But the point is that while things are in the manifestation process, which goes back to one of the other laws of gestation, right? It's while things are in the process, we can either attract them more quickly, make it happen quicker, or we can delay that happening by either staying in belief and staying in, belief, but staying in faith and staying in gratitude for receiving it already, which will
because
bring
you're feeding
it quicker.
it, right? It's picking up more and more condensation,
right,
so that it's going to rain faster. If you can harness that energy of belief and hope and courage and all of that, you're putting that energy toward what you're wanting to manifest. And so it is picking up speed. So it'll rain faster, just like condensation. So that, at some point there's too much for the cloud to hold. It's got to let it go and release it. So it's the same thing with harnessing that energy of what you're trying to manifest. And so if you can fuel that with hope and excitement and courage and gratitude, that speeds up the process rather than going into doubt and fear that kind of makes it dissipate.
Right. Well, and then you look at the phrase of when it rains, it pours, right? When it starts raining, it's going to start pouring. But what are you initially seeding that cloud with, right?
Exactly.
What are you initially, putting the energy out there to evaporate and, to become that rain later? So it's the law of transmutation, right? We got to make sure that moment to moment throughout the day, that regardless of what's going on, right? Opposition and environment's job is to knock us out of alignment, to keep us from getting the things that we desire, right? And so it's a daily game, a daily battle of, okay, can I raise my neural baseline? Can I raise my awareness to when I start becoming frustrated? Can I stop it right there in the moment, right? Because it's normal to be like, okay, I'm a little frustrated, but are you going to stay there for the rest of the day and add that negative energy to whatever you're trying to bring to pass or draw into your life or work for in the terms of, business or, work or gym life or whatever it is? Are you going to let those things take you out of your power, or are you going to pause, shift, and reset and say, you know what, this energy is going somewhere. I got to do my best to make sure I direct it towards the things that I want, because, the more people I talk to, a lot of people think that they get things that they don't want most of the time. Like, well, this stuff keeps showing up, but it's stuff that I don't like. And so it becomes this, process of taking inventory of, okay, if things are happening that I don't like, where has my state of being been, right? State of being meaning how you feel and how you think. Where have my emotions been and where have my associated thoughts been? If I'm thinking of crap I don't want, the ability for it to show up is very, very powerful,
keep
right?
raining
So they
crap.
also say, be careful what you wish for, because a lot of us under stress, under negativity say, oh yeah, well that's, I wish this would happen. And then it happens. It's like, oh crap.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Well, and so how do we, what do we do with that? Now that we know how important that law is and how to find ourselves in accordance with it, what knocks us out of balance? So as we work on the group, I'm just muscle testing to find what are the biggest blocks here group wide that we all have. And what came up with the law of perpetual transmutation are some despair anchors. And according to the body code, this is how it's described or explained. But a despair anchor is the energy of a negative statement that is perceived as a truth by the subconscious mind. Remember, the subconscious mind is literal, but it is programmed with emotion. So once a belief is set with a thought and an emotion connected together, it's a truth for the subconscious mind. And because the subconscious mind runs 95% of the time, your behavior matches the program because it's happening without you thinking about it. And so when there's a despair anchor, and I've got, a chart that I work with here that's like, okay, identifying them individually, but these are the top 4 that came up that I think everybody can relate to. But the first one was, this is too much. How often have we thought that this is too much? I can't handle anymore. This is,
Can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it. This is too much for me to deal with, too much for me to handle, too much for me to get myself out of. And then there's emotions that are attached to that. So when we identify that and bring it to the conscious awareness and then replace it, then we upgrade those beliefs. We upgrade the neural baseline and we upgrade our state of being. And then we find ourselves more in alignment with the laws, which then allows us to receive the benefit or the reward of being in that state of alignment. The next one was, I'll never get ahead. I mean, I think we've all thought that at least sometimes, and some people live in that state continually. I'll never get ahead. No matter what I do, it's never enough. Right. I'm always behind. Nothing works out for me. I mean, if these are the thoughts, if these are truths, and this is how we're behaving, because our behavior is matching the program, and we're acting in a way that this is too much, I'll never get ahead, nothing works out for me, and no one cares, then every situation or a lot of situations that come to us every day are going to match that. So the universe is going to reinforce the truth that you are putting out there because of the law of vibration, the law of attraction. So it's all about getting these laws to work for us instead of us working against them. It's a state of flow.
Right.
And so, when we look for what would be an upgrade, one was, I easily forgive and let go. So we can't be in accordance with the law if we have not forgiven. I mean, it is too much to hold on to resentments.
Right.
I mean, that's absolutely correct. That is a lot of weight to carry. That's a lot. The other one was, I now take charge of my heart, mind, and body. When you have the ability to shift, the pause, shift, and reset, you can take control of your state of being. That's really empowering. And that's going to serve you way better than nothing works out for me. It's like, no, I'm taking control of my body, my mind, my heart, my nervous system, and I'm going to have this work for me instead of against me because of the law of polarity. It could go either way.
Right.
And then also the other one that was kind of interesting that came up was, I allow others to be responsible for themselves. And that, as that came up, it was like, I think a lot of times we take it upon ourselves to make sure that justice is served to those around us, and we're keeping track and keeping score,
Right.
and making sure we feel good about, that the proper person is blamed or takes responsibility or accountability for what they do. But that's a big job. And if you're going to go about your business trying to keep everybody in line and you're the judge of it, you're going to find yourself in disaccord with the law of perpetual transmutation, which is going to make life so much harder for you. It is so much easier to just let that one go and let the universe find that balance. It's way better at it than you are. And then you're in accordance with the law, and it allows the universe to teach the lessons that people need to learn.
Well, and yeah, I think a lot of us spend a lot of time analyzing what other people are doing with their time, right? I mean, even driving, it's like, what's this guy doing? Where's this guy going? Why? And it's like, even in those moments, that's causing momentary, which extends for longer periods of time, physiological shifts in the body because it's causing some upsettedness, right? It's like, well, this guy cutting me off, and where's that guy going? We all do it, but like, how long are we going to stay there? But like, spending our time, and this is the point, is like our focus has to start shifting from what everyone else is doing to what can I do, right? What am I feeding the field that surrounds us? Because our emotions and thoughts produce our reality, right? Our belief translates into our reality. So if we want to upgrade our lives, if we want to feel better, if we want to think better, if we want to, have more things that we desire, enjoy more time, be at more peace, then we got to really start analyzing what we're doing with our time. Where's our focus going? But the scary part to me is when you talk about the subconscious, what are those beliefs again?
The negative ones?
Yeah.
The disempowering ones?
Yeah.
This is too much.
Okay.
I'll never get ahead.
Okay.
Nothing works out for me, and no one cares.
So here's the point with that is these are subconscious beliefs, meaning most of us are not aware that this isn't even a conscious awareness.
Right.
That's the scary part. Is like, we talked to a lot of people and like, yeah, I'm pretty good with my emotions. I feel pretty good. And it's like, and I think I'm not disputing that, but I'm saying is once we start taking inventory, right? We can tell what our subconscious is doing. Take a printout of your life. Start where are you at? What do you have? Where would you like to be? Right? And once we start taking that inventory, it's like, holy crap. If I'm thinking like subconsciously that this is too much, God and universe can't give me more because my belief is I can't handle what I have going on right now.
Exactly.
But if I'm not consciously aware of that, I'm starting to wave my hands all over the place. But if I'm not consciously aware of that, that means I'm not in the driver's seat to change that.
Exactly.
Right? And that autopilot's going to run for 95 to 99%. I typically say 97, but 95 to 99% of the time. And it's like, if those programs are running without me knowing, I think a lot of us, especially me, when I was younger, I'm like, why don't I have control of more things that happen in my life? And that's such a funny phrase now that I look back at it, because it's like, well, the reason I didn't have control was because my subconscious had control, and I really did, but it was the subconscious running the show. I just was unaware because one of the subconscious job is to keep that information from us to a certain extent because it's been taught to keep the status quo, right? If I've told it all for most of the time that this is too much, then when I come with a new idea of like, oh, hey, I want more in a conscious thought.
You're already tapped out.
That conscious thought doesn't have, you're going 3% versus 97%, right? Bruce Lipton always says, do the math. It's like 3% has a very hard time outweighing 97%. And so that's why it's so difficult until we start removing these emotions from the subconscious to stay in these states of disbelief or limiting belief, because the conscious brain has a hard time believing in possibility because of how we've taught it and how we've conditioned it, right? Everyone in their lives can probably say they have things that have shown up that they never thought possible, right? That in their limited thinking is like, well, this is what I'd like. And we focused on it and it became so much better because that's how God and the universe work. There's so much unlimited potential and so much unlimited possibility that we limit ourselves by those limiting beliefs. So we got to remove these stinking emotions and these unconscious, subconscious belief patterns that keep us in check, because the brain is just a pattern recognition system. It's going to run those patterns because that's what it thinks supposed to do, right?
Well, yeah, and it is supposed to do that. We just want them to run patterns that serve us, and that's the whole experience here in life, is to be able to master that. So, again, a lot of times when I'm working on people, and whether it's groups or individually, they aren't consciously aware that this is maybe what would be called a despair anchor. But once you identify it, it's like, you know what, I can see exactly how that pertains to my life. And then you become aware of it. And then as soon as you catch yourself going there, you can transmute it. So if it's too much, you might have the emotion of fear or insecurity or panic or something like that, of that nature. And that's when you can pause, shift, and reset, get heart focused again, and transmute that to a higher vibrational emotion from the heart, and change your state of being and change that program. But you can't do anything with it if you're not aware, and you're always chasing it and always thinking that life is hard. And that's where most people reside, and they just grind it out. And, sorry, I had something in my eye right there. They just grind it out and keep going, because that's what they're taught to do, because that's survival. It's like surfing. And we talked about this on the call too. It's like, do you want to spend your time in the undercurrent trying to get up on the board and it's just hard and there's so much resistance, or, getting up on that wave and riding it out and enjoying the ride, really? So,
because you go to the beach and you see a lot of people in that undercurrent.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Because I've tried surfing too, and it's hard. But
it's hard. But once you master,
easier.
Yes, once you master the skill, right? It's a skill, just like anything. So is emotional resilience. So is emotional regulation. It's a skill. So every time you get knocked off your board and it hits you in the head, or you get thrown into the beach, can you get up and try it again and get stronger and faster, getting back up on the board? And that's the whole thing of, like emotional resilience is just, it's a skill to develop, and you can really enjoy what it has to offer.
Right. And it takes some effort, but it's honestly, it's not that much effort. Mm-hmm. When we really look at it, and all the people we coach and all the people we train, the good amount of people that are showing up to the weekly calls, it's like, my goodness, it doesn't take that long until you're liberated of this energy that's been holding you back. And then it's just a game of leveling up. It's a game of how much better can I get, right? Because I think so many people hold themselves back, and it's really, it's sad, but I can't come up with the word. It's just, it's sad because everyone has so much potential.
Right.
Right.
It's unnecessary, but
that's what I was looking for. Unnecessary.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. But what I usually tell people is, I'll tell you what, it's doing this work is not harder than what you're doing. What you're doing is way harder.
Staying in stress, wearing yourself out, being so tired at the end of the day, waking up, in a bad mood, grabbing your phone first thing, inducing that stress, trying to willpower and determination through everything. And look, there is some credit to be given for people that can, use willpower and determination to make it through things. Endure to the end. But I just don't think that life's made to be endured. I think there's some times, and I think there's some struggles that we've all endured. But I think when we can shift, I know when we shift and we start operating and start improving this neural baseline and start improving our subconscious programs, and we start operating by default in peace, I think everyone knows somebody that's just a ray of sunshine and everything works out for them. Mm-hmm. And it's like, they're so lucky. And it's not luck, it's alignment. It's alignment with your heart, mind, and spirit. It's alignment with heart, mind, nervous system, same thing. It's alignment. When you get these things, your bodily systems in alignment, and you start expanding that energy, then you become aligned with these laws of the universe, right? When you're living in love, I heard someone posted the other day and said, it takes more than love. It takes, boundaries, and it takes communication, and it takes all of these things. And I'm not going to dispute that, but what we know is, if you really truly are operating in the state of love, then you're going to be communicating effectively. you're not going to be breaching other people's boundaries because you're respectful and you're operating in such a state of love. And so it's how often can we transmute this energy? And the energy in the body is incredible. We've talked about it a lot of times, but the amount of energy that we possess in our body is so incredible. The amount of energy that exists in this universe is so incredible. And when we are in alignment in that flow state, expanded heart electromagnetic field with expanded brain electromagnetic field, the expansion of that electromagnetic field, which is how all energy communicates in this life, and every energy that surrounds us is an electromagnetic field. When we start expanding into that field that exists around us and start drawing from that energy where all possibility potential exists, now things start to become really, really cool.
Yep. And it really is living the divine essence of who we are, right? In physical form.
Yeah. So that authentic nature of self. Like if the heart's resonant frequency, when we test, when a baby's born, when we test that resonant frequency, it's beating love. Mm-hmm. That's it. The frequency that the heart producing is pure love. And so the only reason we aren't acting in love or being true loving people and just operating like that is because we've conditioned ourselves to a different state of being.
Yep.
But when we start accessing that heart power of that true authentic self, those true heart qualities that everyone possesses, and everyone's on this planet for an inherently divine purpose to help develop and help teach and help, serve and help, do things that, because each one of us has different skills. When you start harnessing that power, because that's true power, is operating in authenticity, and you're able to live in passion and live your purpose and live in love and compassion and gratitude and show other people the way. That's where the world is supposed to be, I think.
Well, that's a higher level of conscious awareness, and that's where peace is attained. And I think that is what we're all looking for.
Yeah. Yep. So so we cover that on the Raise Your Vibration call. The reason we call it Raise Your Vibration is the higher your vibration, the better your life will be by default. Because just like, quantum physics can't be light and dark at the same time. It's either light or dark, right? We're either positive or negative. Love and hate can't occupy or can't be felt at the same time, right? So we have to start transmuting that energy. If we're in a low state, let's transmute it. Let's pause, shift, reset. Let's do our heart-focused breathing. Let's expand possibility. Every time the heart beats a harmonious signal of gratitude, appreciation, compassion, care, love, peace, that's opening up that higher cognitive function. That's opening up imagination. That's opening up attention. That's opening up intention in that frontal cortex. Now we can start designing life. And to me, that's how it should be. We should be designing the life that we want, the life that we desire, not letting everything dictate and design it for us, right?
Exactly.
So take that piece of wisdom. If you're wanting to improve, if you're wanting to excel, if you're wanting to be, higher performing in the balance of life, the areas of balance in life, if you're, sick of the stress, if you're sick of being tired, either way, either end of the spectrum, reach out, message us, join our call, reach out for an individual session. We want to create such a movement of people just feeling good. Yeah, we're excited about the momentum. We're excited about the people that are improving, the people that are changing. We're having some incredible results of people that are, getting the weekly work on the weekly call, and it's just starting to stack up and people feel really good. So we're excited about where it's going, but hopefully that this resonated with you. And if it did, reach out and comment. Let us know how you're feeling. Let us know what's resonating. And thanks for listening.